So we come to time zones of America. So there are, as you can see, there are like 4 plus 4 plus 9 time zones in America. But actually, the ones that I use the most are Easterns. These are the fours. The yellow ones are the used the most. My cursor is right now on this. Eastern Standard Time, which is in New York. Okay, as you look at the map, this is New York right here. New York, New Jersey, Delaware. All these yellow areas they use Eastern Time Zone. These orange areas they use Central Time Zone. This they use Mountain Time Zone, and this is the California, Nevada, Oregon, and Washington, and some parts of Montana, and some parts of Oregon use Mountain Time Zone. So basically, they use Pacific Time Zone. We always use Pacific Time Zone, as you know, PST. Okay, these are the short forms of that. So when you tell someone the time, you say 8 a.m. EST, 12 1 p.m. PST. You tell them like that. Otherwise, they would not know. So in America, when you specify a time, you also specify a time zone. So for example, let's say let's talk tomorrow at 10. Hey, which basically means let's talk tomorrow at 10. You have to write which AM or PM. Also, you have to mention the time zone. Let's talk tomorrow at 10 PST. In our work, it is really important because in our work, when you're talking to a preferred vendor or a client or a candidate, you do not know what time zone they are in. Even if they are in your time zone, you need to speak like you need to always speak like that, because nobody knows that what time zone you are in, right? So you always specify a time zone whenever you talk to someone. And these are the four time zones which I use the most: Eastern, Central, Mountain, Pacific. Central one, as you can see, it's orange area, and Illinois, one of the biggest cities, Chicago. The entire Texas is central. These are the main areas which are central. Alabama, these are not main areas, like I'm just telling you the most important areas. Texas is this thing, and Illinois, which is Chicago, Wisconsin, and Minneapolis in Minnesota. These are the places where our positions are usually, and they are all and these are the central. In Eastern, most of the good states are in Eastern time zone. New Jersey, New York, Ohio, all these where our positions occur. Pennsylvania, which has cities like Philadelphia, etc. You can see the city guide to understand what I'm talking about. Which cities are we talking about? Florida, as you can see, they are all in the East Coast, and they are all in the Eastern Standard Time. So you will understand the coast in some other video. In Pacific Standard Time, California and Washington, these are the two main these things. So Seattle and all the cities of California like Los Angeles, San Francisco, Bay Area, all these are in, and even your Las Vegas is in Pacific time zone. Okay, so Nevada has Las Vegas. It's not important for our work standpoint because there are very few requirements in Las Vegas, but then at the end of the day, Las Vegas is a famous city. So this will help you in understanding what the time zones are. Now you notice, so what is the difference between Eastern Standard Time and Indian Standard Time? So let's say it's in America, it is some time. Then what is the time in India right now? So interestingly, the time difference between India and America change, any of these time zones changes. So Eastern Standard Time is about 9.5 hours difference with India. In myself keep forgetting actually. Um, in I can tell you first Pacific, then from there we'll drive. Between these times, as you can see, there is a 1 hour difference. So if it is 9 a.m. in California, that is Pacific Standard Time, it is 12 p.m. in Eastern Standard Time, that is New York. And in Chicago at that same time it is 11 a.m., that is Central Standard Time. And Mountain Standard Time, there are not very many important states which use it, but Arizona, Phoenix is one state which uses it. Salt Lake City, Utah has some requirements for us and they use it. So in Salt Lake City and in Phoenix, the time would be 10 a.m. MST, when it is 9 a.m. MST in California. Okay, sorry, 9 a.m. PST in California. So this is, as you can see, the difference is this. What is this UTC? UTC is London Standard Time or something, and on the basis of which all the time zones of the world are derived. So that's why you write like this, UTC -5. So, and we Indians are, I think, UTC +7 or something. Give me 1 second. So I'm at this website called timeanddate.com world clock. I'll give you a link to that. In New Delhi it is 9.45 a.m. whereas in California it's 9:15 p.m. So there is a 12-hour difference and then another half an hour added. And this is summers going on, as you can see, 4/1, which means basically mean 1 April. In America it is 1st April. So okay, so month is written first and then the date is written. So so anyway, from that standpoint, this is 1st April, and then it is 9:16 p.m. in America. In India, in New Delhi, it is 2nd April already, and it is the morning. So 12 and a half hour difference, and in winters it becomes 13 and a half hour difference. So at the same time in America, at that time in India, the time would be 10:46 a.m. This is complicated, I understand. So simply you should know, if I was working in your position, I will put four clocks in front of me, and I will put the Pacific time zone and everything. Pacific time zone, MST and CST, and New York time zone right in it. Or if I don't want to put four clocks, I'll just put one clock PST, so that I know exactly what the PST, and I will just keep always PST in that. And I would, in general, you start to remember, CST is 2 hours ahead, MST is 1 hour ahead, and Eastern time zone is 3 hours ahead. I mean, America is really complicated as far as time zones are concerned. One more thing is, so you must be wondering, how do we, like, when you say the difference changes, right? How does the difference change? Interestingly, we change our clock. In America, every winters and every start of the winters, at the start of the summers, we change our clocks. So this year it was changed sometime in March first week or something, and then so we change our clocks. It's a big mess for us also in America. Just letting you know, but you should know that yes, in America this is what happens. We change our clocks, and the difference between India and America changes. Okay, so there is a formula for it: spring forward, fall back. So during spring, we bring our clocks 1 hour forward, and fall back, we bring our clocks 1 hour back. How do they manage all this here? Don't worry, it's a big mess. I know shops are supposed to close at 12 o'clock, so they're supposed to close at 12, or the new 12, or old 12. So this is a huge mess, I know. But you don't have to worry about this. You need to know what is the difference between India time and California time at that on that day when you're talking. Okay, and you should, so basically, PST, what is the time in PST right now? That's what you should know, and that you should always keep it in front of you. That way it will be easy for you. In the eventually you may not need to do this, but in the first 6 months I would highly recommend you keep one watch, or you keep this thing open right in front of you. Like for example, these are the clocks times in Citrus Heights is California. This is the California PST. This is New York EST, that is Eastern Standard Time. This is your UTC London, which is ahead of us. Okay, and then Tokyo. So by the way, you should know that America is behind as far as time is concerned. So when we say America is there, 12-hour difference, that means America is always behind. All entire America is behind India. Even London is behind India. So, and Tokyo is ahead of India. So it's right now 5 o'clock in the morning in London, 5:19. You'll be surprised it's 1:19 p.m. in Tokyo. So think about this. Right now in California it is 9:15, and 16-hour difference is there between us and Tokyo. You don't need to understand these things too much. Just remember, this is the important, that there is a different time zone. These are the four time zones. When you're talking to people, out of those four time zones, you should know which place like has what. The famous ones: New York, Chicago, etc. People do forget these things all the time, so nothing bad in asking the guy who you're talking to, but you should know your time zone, and you should definitely know your time. So when you're talking to someone, you cannot say I don't know what is the time in California, because if you're saying you're in California, then you should know the California time. If you say you are in New York, you should know what the time in New York is. So you should keep one thing in, one clock in front of you wherever you represent yourself to be. So I would say California is the best thing for you. From California, you can easily derive, what time zone New York is. It's not that difficult, but you can keep two where you are supposed to be, and always California, because we always talk in California time zone. It's mess, I know. So salient points are, we always talk in terms of PST. PST right now, as we are talking, that is summers going on, 1st of April going on. They are 12 and a half hours behind us. So if it is 9:15 in India, sorry, it's 9:40 New Delhi. It's 9:50 in AM in New Delhi, which is 2nd April. Then it is 1st April's 9:20 p.m. in India, in America, in California. So 12 and a half hour difference. Okay, these are the things you should know. And You can always make a Google search. Even if you're talking to someone you do not know, you just type your city and you just type like this, New York time, it will show you the time right there. If you're, let's say you're saying you're in Oregon, then you need can type Oregon time and it will give you the time right away, 9:21 p.m. So you see how it works also. You can easily just do this Googling and immediately find the time where you are supposed to be at. Let's say you are in North Carolina in Charlotte, you just type Charlotte time, um, and it will show you the time in Charlotte. So this is one great technique that you can use. I want to tell you the UTC calculations and everything. Don't worry, just Google and you can easily get the time. Okay, in any city, if you're looking at a resume and let's say your top client is Minneapolis and you want to know where you are, what's the time in Minneapolis right now, just Google Minneapolis time and you'll get it. Okay, that's the best thing. But understanding the concepts of time zones is very important. Eastern, Central, Mountain, and Pacific, they are also called EST, CST, MST, PST. And there is a difference between Eastern is 3 hours ahead of Pacific, Central is 2 hours ahead of Pacific, Mountain is 1 hour ahead of Pacific. Okay, and and the difference is either 12 and a half between India and California, or 13 and a half. Okay, do you remember? Because we go only 1 hour ahead, we keep going ahead, we then we reverse the clocks by 1 hour during fall. Okay, so spring forward, fall back. So I told you everything, but remember you need to know only 3 4 things: Eastern, Central, Mountain, Pacific, EST, CST, MST, PST, and then Google. Then you would know what time zone you are in, and you should know that there is a difference of 3 to 1 between California and other time zones. That's it. Not more than this. And then you can always find the time zone in your place. This is the time zone map that you can use. Okay.